Jones, your co-host, and tonight is my first show. I'm really glad to be here tonight. Wednesday's Whispers is going to be a weekly show, and I will be sharing a message from my book, Living in the Heart Place with Your Angels, Daily Angelical Whispers Throughout the Year. A message from possibly the day that I am doing the show, or just a message that I may have randomly opened the book up to. So, to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm Peg Jones. I am also part co-owner of OTC, Off the Cuff Easing, and I help to recruit people to be columnists for our easing, which is an easing of holistic and spiritual practitioners. And so that's basically kind of what I do with OTC. But tonight, our show is going to be basically about the angels and how they can help us in our everyday life, and how we can connect with them. Also, although this week I do not have a guest, I am hoping to have some guests each week too. And they will be people that are also in this, working in the holistic and spiritual field too. I have done radio quite a bit over the years on the internet, and I have really enjoyed it. I had taken a few months off, but I am back now, and I love helping people to connect with their angels, to understand how this happens for them, and also how they can help us in our everyday life. And as an author, I also love writing about this connection and sharing experiences, or sharing a specific message that I am hearing from the angels at that particular moment. It could be something personal. It could be something that is kind of on a more of a kind of a, I guess, what I'm trying to say is like the kind of the state of our culture, or the state of our world at the time, and sharing their insights on that too. I also I can channel specific messages for people that may want to have a specific message for themselves, maybe from a specific angel, or from a group of angels. I also love writing and sharing meditations with others, and that's basically how I more or less got started as far as my channeling. I was writing meditations and realized that, well, someone actually had to tell me that I was channeling these messages, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. So, and then I realized that, yes, that a lot, because I really hadn't written in that way before that. So I really felt that I was being helped in doing that. And I think in so many ways that we may not even realize that we're channeling information or speaking, from a higher perspective. And the way that I can tell that is when I'm writing, it's almost like taking dictation for myself, that I'm just writing and not really thinking about what I'm saying. There are many times when I feel I'm to do a message, and and it's like, well, what am I supposed to write? And I basically am hearing, just put your hand on the keyboard and start typing. And when I get out of the way of myself, that usually happens. So, um, tonight's show, I thought I would share a message from my book for today. Um, and the name of my book is Living in the Heart Place with Your Angels, Daily Angelical Whispers Throughout the Year. It's in its third year. Um, the third anniversary was in July last month. And so today's message is, today we sing of our love and and of all our Creator has done for us. It is a song of peace and calmness. Thank you, dear God, for your love and the peace you bring to so many. We thank you for the beauty that is there for all to see, and we thank you for the bounty of all that we have. We are grateful for all that you do for us, and we thank you for all that you are. And so, the journal exercise with this is, what are you grateful for today? Think about it and journal it. And I got to thinking about singing and how it is one of the best ways to raise our vibration, especially if we may be dealing with a lot of stress, or we're just kind of feeling low on a particular day. But it's also, it's also a way to kind of continue, like if, we're with a group of friends or whatever, to just be singing, because it does, keep us in a celebratory mood. How can you not feel, happy when you're singing? It's just kind of a natural high, I guess. And I have found over the years, when I was a teacher and singing with children, as I was a teacher of young children, that was always a wonderful way to, actually to get the children interested in, in singing and, just having a good time. Um, and I know as a child, I always enjoyed singing, and, through choirs or, just singing by myself. Uh, it was always fun. And one of the favorite things for me is I had this interest in, and some you may remember, with Mitch Miller, singing along with Mitch. And so I would just sing for hours his songs. For some reason, I just love singing those songs. And then, doing your house chores, putting on your favorite music and doing that. And I know one of the best ways is when I put on Carole King music, because of the beat to the music, and it just gets me in the mode of getting my house clean. Um, so I'm sure that many of you have really good ways that music can help you too. And sometimes just putting words together and singing them out too can be a way of raising our vibration. So uh, I'm just wondering what ways there might be for you too. And feel free to call in. Our number is 549-520-5149, and we can take calls there, or you can go to Skype and type in off the cuff for the number you, the letter just you, and feel free to participate. And if you have any questions, also personally, for the about the angels, I'm willing to share my insight and maybe an angel card. Tonight I have the Archangel Gabriel cards, and so you're welcome to use those cards. Um, and uh, um, I'm also looking for guests. So if there are people that are interested in wanting to be a guest for the show, to feel free to contact me, and we can arrange something too. And um, you know, if you want to share your latest project or your latest book, I will be glad to have you on the show, and we can do an interview and speak to the audience. Um, so I guess I'm wondering tonight what questions you may have about the angels, and just feel free to write in. Um, when I got interested in the angels, it was kind of a very slow process because I really wasn't sure about the connection or understanding it, but yet at the same time, I feel the angels were trying to have me notice them. And it took me many years, but I do know um, uh, during that time of them trying to have me get that to notice them, I really felt that um, it was very in many ways it was very natural, because I had gone to a an in service and about the angels, and it seemed um, and it was something that I had never done before, and it was kind of after that when I started receiving different gifts like statues and chimes that all had to do around the angels. So I began to kind of have a nostalgic feel about them, and then when I realized that, after doing some reading and speaking with others, that and also the angel cards were a very good way to help me to um, understand their messages and synchronicities. And so I thought I would just um, shuffle my cards. Tonight I have the Archangel Gabriel cards, and I thought that I would pick a card. And I'll put it out there that the card is for all of us tonight, and it may be something that can help us in some way. So um, let's see. So the card is inspiration. Well, we all need inspiration. And today is, yes, your idea is divinely inspired. Take action accordingly to set it into motion. And so I asked Archangel Gabriel, well, what types of ideas? And he says, well, it could be an idea that may have to do with some type of creative um, activity that you may want to do. It could be writing, it could be poetry, it could be painting, it could be, maybe learning to dance, and a new type of dance. It could be an idea, something to do with possibly the work that you do, or even, the creative work that you do, and many times when we have those ideas or thoughts, they are divinely inspired, and it's almost like once you say, yes, I want to do this, the angels will put, well, people, places, um, you know, um, into your world, and they will help you along the way. And I think sometimes we so often just dismiss a specific thought or idea. We're like, oh no, I can't do that. And and then we start to notice, that maybe others are talking about it, or we're hearing something, or something we have read, can, lead us to think, well, maybe I should think about this a lot, and I know that has happened for myself many times too. And it's almost like once I say, okay, I am going to look into this and see what this is all about, then it just becomes a natural progression. So I guess I ask you in the audience, how many times that has happened for you too. And feel free to call at 549-520-5149, and I'll be glad to take your call. So I'm going to ask my engineer, who is our publisher, Sprinkles Nixon, if I have any calls, or if anyone has written into the chat room. Okay, all right. So I guess, pardon me? Change is coming up. Oh yes, we are having different changes, and we'll be in contact with you on those really soon. Um, so, as I said, the number is 549-520-5149. Um, I have found the angels as late to be truly around us, and and they, even though there are a lot of different um, things going on in the world that can be a bit difficult, I really feel that they are helping us in understanding, and and I feel like they're giving us a lot of hope too. Um, and I think that that's rather comforting in knowing that. And it's almost like um, just sometimes if there is something that we're really dealing with that is really difficult, sometimes different ways of writing um, what we're thinking, or what we're experiencing, sometimes just directly writing, um, or maybe doing something in a creative way too. Um, uh, and and sometimes that does help, but also actively, um, just being with others, and last of all, of course, is to be sure to have fun in your life too, and not to and of course, summertime is the best time for vacations, and relaxation. And I'd like to welcome Diane in the chat. Thank you for coming tonight, and feel free to type in a question or to call in, and I'll be glad to speak with you. Um, Hopefully, next week I will be able to see the chat too, because I'm not seeing it right now. And so I can definitely be more interactive then. So, uh, what is the questions that you have, concerning the angels? Are there specific things that you would like to know? And I will definitely be glad to speak to you on that too. Um, there was a time in my life when I really didn't do any type of writing, and it seemed that once I started working with the angels, they gave me the opportunity. It was almost like they were teaching me how to write poetry, and I noticed that many of the poems were on about the angels and how we can speak with them and everything. And so I would love to share one or two tonight, um, and just see, because I have found that the process that they taught me was quite amazing. It was almost like I was watching the process happen too. And because I never written poetry or that much before, um, it was quite amazing. And so I am trying to get to my poems now because here it is. Okay. And I basically started writing poetry like 3 years after I started studying with the angels, because I wasn't, it wasn't something I had really thought about in any way. And so, uh, let's see. Okay, here they are. Okay, so one of the first poems I wrote, and this did not have anything to do with the angels. Um, it was about the beach, and for me, I have always enjoyed the beach. And this is kind of, it's a pretty interesting poem, so I thought I'd read it. It's called "Painting the Images on My Mind," and so this is how it goes. If I could paint the images that wander in my mind, the pictures that would have so beauty, the people so kind, my canvas would be large, my palette would be bright. I would paint the love in my heart for my fellow man tonight. I would paint a pretty ocean scene with children all about. The trees would be swaying, the sun would be out. I would show their laughter while playing in the sand, working hard on their castles, asking for nothing in demand. Their spontaneity they possess, and something they behold. The love they have in their hearts never gets too old. Their words can be so wise at times in such an innocent way. The truth they speak in a different way. The truth they speak is different every day. If I could paint the images on my mind, I would have rainbows on display. They would possess the colors I love in a bright array. I would show you God's light shining from above. I would paint a picture of peace and feeling of God's love. If we could be like children and be able to forgive, to know that we are all in one, are one where we live, to know we become the person we all want to be, to live our life with love and peace and truly be free. And I wrote that poem with, I think, thinking of basically the summers I would have when I was at the beach, and you know the you know and the things that we would do as children, and I think painting was something that I was not doing. So I think when I began the poem, it was, if I could paint the images. It's like I have the images and I would love to be able to paint them, but I can't, so I'm going to write about them. But it was basically one of the first poems the angels had shared with me, to write, and so I thought I'd share that. And another poem was I think we're almost ready to go for a little break, and I'll be back in a few minutes, and I'll share. Actually, I'll share the poem that I wrote for when I started my website, and actually, it was actually written the day I had put my website together too. So, so we'll be back in a few minutes.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to OTCR, the radio station that shines and shares its light with you.
Hi, we're back. This is Peg Jones at Wednesday's Whispers, and I want to thank Diane, who is in the chat room, for the book plug. I'm glad that you enjoy it, and I know that you have taken my class also, and that you have gotten a lot from that too, and I thank you for that. And I'm wondering, Diane, since you are the only one in the chat room, if you would like to, if you would like for me to pull a card for you. And now that I am in the chat room, I can see what you're going to say. So feel free to answer. Okay, that will be great. Is there anything in particular that you would like to hear about from the angels as far as a specific issue in your life? And so I find that when I ask that, well, one issue, Diane, just one. I think that there's a little bit of a lag. So I'm just going to wait a few seconds to see if she has something. And meanwhile, I am going to continue to shuffle, and maybe by that time she will have an answer for me. And if not, then I will just pick a card anyways. Also, Diane, if you want, you can just uh, key in a number, like, between 1 and 44, and I'll go to that card that you specify with the number, and then we'll see where that goes. So maybe she just wants me to pick a card. I don't know, because let's see. So I'm going to pick a card for you. Oh, you've got picked. Okay, that was from Sprinkles. Pick a card from 44. Okay, so all right, yeah, it's all good, right? This is supposed to be an excellent eclipse and full moon, and we're going to be really, really positive. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and this is very appropriate for you. Of course, if you just look at it on on one particular level, you go, yeah, right. But if you look at it on another level, you'll say, yeah, wow. And the card from Gabriel tonight is birth, and birth is, the newness of life, the newness of ideas, and I know for a fact that Diane has many ideas, and is working on them, and she's expanding the work that she is doing with the angels and other aspects of healing. So I feel like this is very appropriate for you, because it's validating. Oh, I just said that. I feel like it's extremely appropriate, because you do have a lot of exciting projects happening, and they seem to be blossoming every day, and I really feel like you are being inspired by the angels, and you're finding really good outcomes for yourself. And you've really kind of had to put yourself, on it's almost like, out of your comfort zone. And you're doing excellent. I think you're finding that you can, do so much more than what maybe you were told, or maybe what you actually thought. And the angels are saying that, they are truly proud of the progress that you've made, and and they're saying, it's the sky's the limit, so to speak, and they truly commend you on all that you have accomplished. So I hope that helped, and help you to start your day, because you are from down under, and our day is ending here, but it's amazing how the angels can truly lead us to our potential, more so than what we may have already realized. And my engineer, would you like to have a card pulled for you, Sprinkles?
Yes, please.
Okay, I will do that. And would you like to pick a number?
9.
9. Okay. that number's been coming up a lot lately. Um, and 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. Daily practice. The more you practice your new skills, the more comfortable and confident you become. Interesting. Well, I guess we're always learning something. Whether it's practical, spiritual, professional, whatever. And I know that you have had to learn new things and lately, and so I guess it's almost like practice makes perfect in everything that we do, and to have patience with ourselves and others, and because every day is a learning
Yes.
process.
True. Very true. Yes.
So, what um, uh, we also Diane has a message here. Oh wow, yes, it's very helpful. Thank you so much to you and Gabriel. Yes, okay. I do feel that I have definitely come a long way, and still a ways to go. Well, we all do, I guess. And thank you very much, Diane. Um, and uh, um, um, I'm. Oh gosh, I lost the place here. Okay, here we are. Um, and so I guess we're always in that learning mode, but we're also teachers as much as we are in our learning mode. And I know Sprinkles will be offering classes too at, at our chat room. And I think that she has sign up now for tarot and um, palmistry, right? Is that right?
No,
For,
just a tarot for now.
oh, just the tarot. Okay,
Yes, but thank you.
you're welcome. So, and you can go to the site and you can read about how she teaches it and sign up too, I believe. So, um, yeah, and um, let me see, what else can we talk about tonight? I was hoping to have a few more into the chat room, but that's not. Oh, yeah, I am going to be sending out a newsletter probably tomorrow or the next day. I'm still working on it. I put a lot together. I worked like 3 hours yesterday putting together a banner for it using a program, and I really enjoyed doing it. It was kind of a fun process to figure it out as I was doing it because I had never really made an actual banner like that. I've so that was fun, uh, and actually this program is really good because you can also make different like posts for Facebook and social media too. So I plan to use that a little bit more to do that something different and to make them a little bit more mine too, you know. So I think, well, for me, I find that when I'm kind of in that creative mode, that I just, it just helps me to really keep the focus, on what I'm doing, and to kind of go with the inspiration of, of kind of what I'm feeling and doing to, kind of just using those creative abilities that we all have. um, So, and I am hoping to offer a class also at the chat room um, at, at Off the Cuff Easing too. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be, but I am thinking that it may be kind of like a meditation hour and discussion, and then maybe some offering some card readings or in intuitive, um, uh, you know, inspirational messages. I also hope to maybe do some inspirational writing too, once in a while. So I think what I'm being told is that it's going to be, maybe once or twice a month, and it will be different types of ways that we can work with our angels and communicate with them and stuff, and hear their messages. Um, and I also may throw in a little bit of astrology, a little bit of numerology, and maybe some, like helping us to learn a new spread in using our angel cards for ourselves or for others. And I had found for me in connecting when I was first beginning to connect with the angels, to just like take a card each day, and kind of see how it worked in my life, at that particular time or that particular day, and just kind of maybe do some journaling with it, or actually just journaling exactly what the card is, and then writing my take on what I am hearing about that. And I think to keep a record, of that each day can help you to understand specific patterns and different ways that maybe our angels are working with us. And so that's what we plan to do. And okay, so is this you, Sprinkles, wanting an angel card for a month? Or?
Yes.
Okay. So would you like an angel card for the month of August or for the month of September?
August, please.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Do you have a specific number you want me to stop at?
4, please.
4? Okay. All right. Let's see. 4. That's an interesting number. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, pay attention to your dreams. Um, and I think that could be on 2 different levels. It could be our dreams at night. It could be our dreams for our future, for our work, for our family life. And let's see. You are receiving divine guidance while you sleep. Okay, so this is specifically for sleep. And even if you don't remember your dream, the answers are in your unconscious mind when they appear in order to help you. And I think that that's true for a lot of us. And I know Sprinkles has done some classes or taken some classes, maybe even does them herself. I'm not sure. She can tell us, about dream interpretation. And sometimes the dreams can be very symbolic, that it's not to be taken literally, it could be, and so the angels ask us to really pay attention to that, and I know I have had this dream for years, and it's not the most pleasant dream, but I know over time it's like because we do get like an emotional reaction to dreams. Many, whether it's happy, sad, or just kind of blah or blah blah. And I have found that what I think the dream is about, it's really not saying that. It's more symbolic. And so, as I was trying to say, over the years, the dream has become less upsetting for me. So I feel like, in many ways, whatever the issue was, I am beginning to overcome it more. That it's not such, and I'm beginning to understand why I had the dream, and what it is telling me. And I think that that's true for a lot of us who, and a lot of times our dreams are ways that we're just working out an issue in our life, that is impacting us, and it's helping us to have a solution, in some way, or to actually face what the issue is, and ask, how we can, you know, improve, or or actually, do the solution of what the dream is about. And sometimes the solution is in the dream too,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be, literally, or it could be, um, uh, figuratively too. So, it's good to pay attention to them. I don't always remember them, but I know that when I do remember them,
Mm-hmm.
I know that it is something that I, need to really pay attention to. And so, the suggestion always is to have a dream book, like a notebook or something next to you, and a pen, and to write, like, especially if it's a dream that you remember, like the minute you wake up, just to pick up the notebook and the pen, and to write exactly what it was about. And then sometimes you might want to write what you think it is too, and how you can work with that too. So
That's
um,
awesome. Thank you very much, Peg. I,
you're
I,
welcome. I
it's
do
funny.
go on.
No, you're doing fine. I just recently started taking up journaling my dreams, and that's why
Oh,
I find this kind of fascinating, because I stopped it for quite a while, but now I've been getting there's one dream that's kind of coming in all the time, and I'm remembering some of it to where I'm writing down what it consisted of, and
right.
looking them up in the book. So that's a great help, and I could see how that fits. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And there's a lot of books out there, on dream symbolism, and so sometimes just stopping at, if you don't have any yourself, just stopping at the bookstore, or the library, I guess, even, and to just maybe kind of see what their symbolism is, and then see how it impacts you.
Yes,
So um,
very
yeah.
nice. Thank you.
So next week I am going to have a guest. I'm not exactly sure who that's going to be at this point, but when I do know, I will announce it. And I think what I will do is I will probably continue with, like, the message for the day, and kind of set a, and have a small discussion, and then I will probably introduce my guest. Um, and uh, like I said, if anyone has an interest, I would be glad to talk to you about um, being a guest. And also, if you have an interest in being a columnist for our easy, um, our 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 next issue is September 1st, so you might want to check out um, that issue. And but we also have other issues on our website at offthecuff.com, and you can check those out too. And we have besides the columns, we also have like a directory of all of our columnists and our guests from our shows. And um, and we also have a cooking session. So if you have a specific recipe you'd like to send in, you can do that too. And I am the collector of recipes. So you can send them to me, or you can send them to Sprinkles too. And we also, oh, if you are a guest, we also have a link for the show too that people can directly go to from the easing to your show. And we have free advertising because we are a nonprofit organization. And the free, it could be an event that you want to share, or it could be just like an advertisement for the work that you do. And speaking to Sprinkles, she will help you to. You can tell her basically what you would like for the advertisement if you do choose to be a columnist. And to be a columnist, you can do it. You can write every month, or you can write every other month. So you do have that choice. We welcome anyone that would like to get out there, share their work, and just have the passion for writing and impacting others in their own specific way. I know for me, I love, yep, and Sprinkle says exactly, we love getting your word and your work out there. And that's basically what we're all about. We want to help you to help yourself, and that, not only writing, but if you have a class you'd like to offer, or just, it could be a series type thing, or it could be just a one-time event. You can do that, and you can, if you have a book, or if you just have a teaching you'd like to teach, or some type of, circle, or just, something that's totally new. We would love to hear from you, and we will help you to do that. And to contact me, you can go at pegsangelicalwhisper.com. That's my website, and it shares like the type of services and also my classes. And I have some meditations on there too that I had written years ago, and I have some illustrations, and you can check those out. And I have angel stories, and I also talk about how to help you with inspirational writing and the type of coaching that I do. And you can contact me at I'm not sure if I said my website or if I said where you can contact me now. So I'm going to say both again. My website is www.pegsangelicalwhispers.com. And to contact me, you can go to Peg at pegsangelicalwhispers.com through email. If you have an interest in an intuitive reading, or a class, you can let me know, and I'll be glad to work with you. And also, I work in the Akashic Records. I had worked with Linda Howe. I had actually taken 2 seminars, and I do that type of reading too. And next week I'll talk more about the Akashic Records and how we work with them and what they can do for us. I think that's about it. And I hope to be, one more thing, I hope to be offering classes in the North Shore area, some specific places, and I'll be talking more about that too. And in the coming weeks. I thank you all for being here, and it's been great to be back on the radio and to be sharing the angels and to speaking to everyone that came. And feel free to contact me at any time. And I'm wishing you a great week and 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 lots of happiness.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of the OTCR, its affiliates, and or sponsors.